Every time I go to someone's house, I use their toothbrush. God, I hope, please dox yourself so I can ban you from my house. Every house I visit, for a sleepover or even with friends or a quick hello, I go in the bathroom and use the toothbrushes I find. I don't know why I do it, but I just do. I put some toothpaste on it and just brush as I normally would, then put it back there. Low-grade sociopath. I know this is a place to get stuff off your chest in a relatively safe space, but this is the most foul, disgusting, degenerate schmidt I've ever read. The very thought of someone using my toothbrush and putting it back makes me nauseous. Yeah, you can spread saliva and even bloodborne diseases like herpes and many others. This is very disrespectful and risking health of the people you visit. And most importantly, you can spread it or get it. So, you know, I mean, clearly you're someone incapable about considering others, so maybe at the least consider your own health and safety. Either way, new fear unlocked. Please stub your toe. My little cousin cracked my iPhone XS Max screen. Made my aunt pay $329 knowing I have Apple Care and it only cost me $29. Straight out the gate, scamming family members. Love it! Let's see how they justify themselves. My little cousins are the biggest schmitts in the world, okay? Starting out strong, really strong. And my aunt pretty much lets them do whatever they want without consequence. They were roughhousing and knocked my phone off the counter, shattering the screen. My closest Apple store is about 2 hours away, and it's a huge inconvenience for me to drive there, not to mention the extra gas. So instead of explaining this to her, she's the kind of person who doesn't care about things that don't affect her directly. I told her it was $329 to fix, which is true if I didn't have Apple Care. So she wrote me a check for $329 and I only had to pay $29 and I pocketed the extra $300. I consider that my non-disclosed inconvenience fee. Now, according to Australian dollary-doos, your replacement screen costs half the phone. It cost me $400 to replace the screen on my $2,500 Galaxy Fold. I'm just like, if anyone wants to accuse someone of scamming here, I think it's Apple. Now, I'm sure one of you has the mindset of, well, these are just being kids. It's not their fault that you were leaving your phone lying around somewhere it could be bumped off. Firstly, hello there, Devil's Advocate. Allow me to introduce you to more context. Edit, my cousins are 14 and 15. Not exactly toddlers. But yeah, even then, as some people say, it's basically like paying Apple Care anyway. It's not really like you made a saving, because you're still paying for the Apple Care. Though, as they explain, they kind of recuperate their costs with it anyway. So hey, yeah, win-win. Oh, don't feel too bad. I've done something similar. A girl got real drunk at a New Year's party I hosted, got into a fight with her boyfriend, and started throwing empty glass beer bottles at him in my kitchen. So we asked them to leave. On the way out, she punched a hole through one of our windows. She must have seen her boyfriend's reflection in it. Her boyfriend made her pay for damages after days of her acting like,
"That's the risk you take when you throw a party."
So I found a Feldco quote to repair it for around $260 and sent that to them. Meanwhile, I used to rehab houses, so I bought a new pane, cut it to size, and put it in with some new siding for about $50 worth of materials. I didn't tell them that and took the $210 in profit because honestly, frick you for being that kind of rude. Okay, well now in comparison, yours is far more justified though. Like, okay, in the OP's original story, the aunt is being rather careless and inconsiderate, but I'm gonna have a hot take here. I think this aunt's just given up on these kids. I think the only reason she doesn't care about things that don't affect her directly is because she's gotten so mentally exhausted dealing with these two little schmitts. Just, oh, look, I've done many jobs over the years where I've had to mind kids and oh man. But hey, look, on the bright side, at least you didn't schmidt on your hamster. Those who know, know. Before I went to bed, I called my girlfriend with a low battery and told her I'll talk to her until my phone died. She began talking about The Bachelor and I pretended my phone died by... Oh my god! Oh god, I got the hyena laugh out of me. Oh damn. Oh, to disrespect the love of your life like that, surely you feel bad about. I regret nothing. Update. Wow, this got way more popular than I wanted it to. Just an FYI, we have been dating for 5 years and could not be in a happier, healthier relationship. When she saw this post, she got a really good laugh out of it. You fool. That laughter of hers was menacing. It wasn't in any sort of rapport with you. She's laughing because she's locked and loaded this into her ammunition belt. She's placing that trap card face down, ending her turn, and isn't going to activate it until you suddenly, 6 months from now, start winning an argument. Or, on the contrary to a happier relationship, maybe she started to talk about The Bachelor because she knew you would hang up. I hope she doesn't Reddit because this is way too specific for her not to know this is you. I found it. And I was already suspicious. Honestly, more bitter that his Reddit karma is higher than mine now. I once dated someone pretty obsessed with keeping up with the Kardashians. I sent her deep-fried memes of the show, relentlessly roasting it for about a month before she finally got the hint and stopped talking about it. And dumped me, but mission accomplished either way. Yes, congrats, man. A relationship failed successfully. Hey, you took this from the Unethical Life Pro Tip post telling people to do exactly this. Oh, wow. So strange that one would fake a scenario to gain attention on an online forum. I'll say, the audacity to read something that's in a subreddit that's literally called Life Pro Tips, and then actually practicing it. What's next? Actually doing the things your therapist suggests you do? I was mean in elementary school. It still bothers me. When I was in approximately 2nd or 3rd grade, I was an a-hole. I would draw exaggerated pictures of the only chubby girl and write, "Helen is a fatso," not her actual name, on it. I was very rude to her even when she attempted to be kind to me. I would also try to subtly tell adults I knew who would pick me up from school in a group of after-school activities that the other kids had seen them and were talking about how fat they were, and lie more, saying that I took up for them. Jesus, this person was going after everyone, even the adults? This child is chaotic evil at this point. I've attempted to find some of these people in my young adult life all the way to today to no avail to apologize. I can't believe I was such an a-hole. Yeah, look, I'm not gonna say that it's something that deserves equal pity as the actual victims of bullying, but there is certainly shame, arguably deserved shame, in being someone who, as you grow older and mature, you realize that, oh man, I, at least for a moment, ruined someone's life. Just out of pure ignorance, and yeah, it's unfortunate that, as comments say, it's something that we all kind of realize a bit too late. I was a jerk as well, and I don't know why. Here's the funny thing, my second son is the same way, and I hate it. When I was in about 6th or 7th grade, I randomly walked up to a boy in my class in front of a bunch of people and kicked him in the nuts. Oh my god! Why? I think for clout or attention, I don't know. Anyway, I still think about that moment to this day and regret my actions. As a kid, you don't really think much about other people's feelings and only about yourself. It haunts me. Okay, I'm sorry, but your haunting memory of childhood is someone's injured nuts. I fibbed about being a chili master, and now I'm in over my head. Alright, I need to come clean, because this is becoming a bigger ordeal than I ever thought it would, and either getting it off my chest will help, or maybe someone has some advice. I was in the office the other week, started a new position a couple of months ago, and some of my coworkers were talking about cooking. For context, I don't know how to cook. I am a microwave master chef, if you will. They're all going around saying what their best dishes are until it gets around to me. I don't know if I just got caught up in the moment or if I just wanted these people to like me so much. Look, it's been rough making new friends since moving here for work, but I just blurted out the first thing I could think of. They got interested and started asking more and more clarifying questions. Long story short, they now think I came runner-up in my old town's chili cooking competition with my family's multi-generational chili. Now, I thought I got away with it. Harmless white lie. When does something like that come back up? Well, yesterday apparently. Just my luck, one of my coworkers' HOA is holding a charity chili cook-off, and now the office is trying to convince me to enter. It's your chance to actually win one now, and it's for a good cause. I'm screwed. I tried to act excited and told them I'd consider, but I am serious when I say the most complicated thing I've ever cooked was hamburger helper. I'm considering asking my wife to help me. I haven't told her about the situation yet, but I know she's going to get a kick out of it and laugh at me for being a dumbass. She's never made chili for us, but I imagine whatever she can come up with will be miles ahead of any slop I could put together. Anyone got any better ideas? You heard the man. Internet sleuth whose diet consists 90% of noodles. Go! Do you have a Costco? They have chili in their prepared food section and it's really good. Doctor it up with some salsa or sweet pickled jalapenos. God, that would look so... Okay, look, to be fair, it is chili. I mean... Does it ever look aesthetic? Well, they won't recognize if you repackage it and alter it slightly. I judged a barbecue competition a few years ago, and one of the categories was chili. Costco chili is far better than most of the 15 entries I tried. It looks homemade. There are big chunks of ground beef. I like to add salsa. Well, thank you for that advice, pretty mum. Not to dox you, but please tell us where you live so we make sure to never try the chili in your local area. But worst case, you could still try to make chili, just don't let anyone taste it. The Office Kevin's chili scene. Bring in a gigantic tub of terribly store-bought chili and make a huge show of it, then accidentally drop the pot and spill it everywhere. Here's the chili, everyone.
Oh, great, thanks.
I dropped it all over the floor. Oh, it's ruined now. Don't worry, OP. I know you put in a lot of effort making this. Oh, sure did. Everyone grab some spoons. There's pieces that haven't fallen on the floor completely. OP, why are you unbuckling your belt?
Oh, my pants fell off. The slippers. My bum's my bum's gotten all over the chili. Because no one's gonna eat it now.
You know, technically your desk has more bacteria.
No one's gonna eat it now.
I have been lying to my mom for 2 years about me graduating high school. It's a long story, so I'll get to the point. Basically, I was a very horrible student doing drugs, primarily marijuana and perks. I was out hoeing around with women, just having goofball smecks. I never paid attention in class. I always left whenever I wanted. The administration got so used to it that they would open the door for me and let me leave. Fast forward to when I'm supposed to graduate. I purposely fall down the stairs, injure my arm so my mom can come with me to the hospital, and I had my friend forge me a fake high school diploma, a copy of his, but photoshopped with my name, etc. I tell my mom my friend got my diploma, he grabbed it for me. I truly only attended a full day of school twice. Now I'm 20, working under my uncle in his landscaping business, but the guilt still haunts me to this day. Dude, I'm in two minds with this. On one hand, yeah, you're an idiot, but then also I pity the pressure that gets put on to the youth of I remember finally graduating high school. I learned that someone I knew from my year level who never bothered to put much effort in, they got the same qualifications I did in high school just by doing a 6-month course for uni. I could have just left high school 2-3 years early and just done that at uni and I would have the same qualifications and at least 2.5 years of my time back. It's just, you realize that and you think about all the stress and depression and mental health that was absolutely demolished by fearing high school was going to determine your future entirely. Though, as comments here say, well, if you really regret and you want to change the situation, you still can do it. It would require to cut from your personal spare time, but you are not only fooling your mom here, but first of all, you fool yourself. You limit your future career. One day, you'll be fed up with no possibility to grow further in your field. I know I regret what I did at least, but if you prefer to learn it the hard way, it's your call. Yeah, you may as well tell her. You're 20 years old now. Man up. You're working landscapes, so that is an admirable profession. But just let her know you were sorry for the deceptive behavior, but you were not thinking straight. Consider a GED, just to get it over with. You may want to be a certified landscaper someday. She is your mother, and, well, she will forgive you. Okay, that is good advice, but that last sentence clearly comes from a family life that didn't have a terrible mother. Get yourself that GED first, then let your mother know. You know, it's kind of like a, hey, I accidentally obliterated the wall in the house, but I fixed it before you came home, so all good. Hey, I dropped out of high school, but then got my GED and went to community college, then transferred to a 4-year university. Fricked up, you lied and all that, but you can't change what you already did, so just make better decisions moving forward. You can do it, bud. Oh, let me just add a bit of a reverb to that line for you all. You can't change what you already did, so just make better better decisions moving forward. That's for all you cheeky little buggers watching this video who have some sort of regrets or embarrassment from choices you made in the past, okay? Trust me, you're not alone with those feelings. I'm with you in solidarity. I said that reverb part while looking at a mirror. I sometimes go into the Apple store and flip all the photos upside down on one particular iPad. I used to be the kind of person who set all of the egg timers ready to go off just after I'd left the store. Nowadays, I just turn up the volume on a number of different iPads and set alarms and timers ready to create chaos and confusion after I've left. These kind of people are the true Walking Phoenix's jokers of society. One time in an airport, I paired my phone with the speakers they had on in the text shop. Oh no. I left the store and sat near enough to maintain connection. I then used this power to play Rick Astley at full volume. Every time they turned it down, I was able to turn it back up again from my phone. They connected their own phone, I could just reconnect from where I was sat. Eventually, they had to just switch it off and the store was left silent. Another time, I was in a shop that had these little lockable boxes for sale with tiny keys still in the keyholes. So, I locked a box and I put the key into another box. Then I locked that box and put that key in another box. And I repeated this for another 5 boxes, leaving behind a treasure hunt of small locked box mystery. I walk among you, a regular Joe, but a darkness lies within. All I want is chaos and confusion. If all I ever do is make it into one person's
You'll never guess what happened at work today.
story, then that's a win for me.
Yeah, you sound super annoying.
We found Satan. Okay, so I'm open to what you all think in the comments about this person. Like, how much of an a-hole are they? Because I was reading this with a genuine little cheeky smile on my face, kind of loving the absurdity and silliness of it. But the comments on Reddit, damn! It's like everyone who read this post happens to have been working in the retail stores this person was disrupting. Why would you do this? Genuinely. It's only disruptive. Maybe someone with a different sense of humor than me would find it silly if they were in public, but everything you described is so loud and obnoxious, I can't imagine anyone enjoying it in person. Yeah, your dark passenger seems to be controlling you.
It sounds like one of those TikTok idiots who just think it's fun to ruin people's days.
I mean, geez, this post has made me feel extremely young because according to these people, I have the mentality of a 12-year-old. Now, don't worry if your opinion is against mine. Knowing my luck with karma, the moment I start my real-life job again this week, I'm going to definitely be dealing with someone who's going to do this. Getting rich off all my neighbors' laundry room use. I know where this is going, and I'm kind of all for it. I live in an older apartment building, and our laundry room consists of 2 washers and 2 dryers. These machines are the old school add $1 in quarters to start type. What people don't know is the receptor that catches quarters after the machines are started is always unlocked, and you can take your quarters back any time. I found this out a week or so ago, and to date, I've made around $30 and done my laundry absolutely free. Damn, get rich or dry trying.
Get rich or die drying.
Get rich or dry drying?
Dry bich or dry drying.
Dry or dry dry. The sound of thousands of footsteps all around the world who live in apartments suddenly checking their washing machines in their local space just to see if their communal laundry has this similar loophole. But as some comments here warn about this sort of tactic, I'd stop taking the extra money and just do your laundry for free as long as you can. There's going to be an average amount of money these machines are taking in each month that will be noticed if it's $120 short of that number if you continue at your pace. That's my 2 cents, but I'm taking that back right now.
Bring your 2 cents back here.
Yeah, speaking of unethical life pro tips, I don't know if it's the same for modern payment laundry machines, but for many, if you just figure out the serial code for the machine, apparently you should be able to find the correct key to buy online to then just be able to access it whenever you want anyway. Oh yeah, this happened at an apartment I work for. We installed cameras in dark corners. The tenant was evicted, as well as another one that was peeing down the drain. Oh! I leave early every day and do about 5 minutes of work. I do little to nothing every day at work. As I watch my coworkers stress about their work, my biggest accomplishment today was that I went pee on all 6 floors. Oh my God.
God.
I hope you who is watching this right now isn't frustratingly unemployed, because this is gonna tick you off. Every day is a struggle to look busy, to find stuff, to make the hours go by. I usually go to my car around 10:45 a.m. every day for a nap. I work an office job, and my lack of productivity is not passed on to coworkers, if it matters. Yeah, okay, look, with that last sentence, all of this is fair game. I no longer think this person is that scummy anymore. Though I don't think this is the most long-term strategy to stick to. We had a guy like this at work, and eventually we worked it out and fired him for shopping and playing golf on work time. He just took it on the chin and was honest and said, look, don't replace this role. There's literally nothing to do. I mean, hey, look. Yeah, you know, I'd give him a bit of a little applause as I fired him. He's an honest man. I appreciate that. That's what we need in this company. You're hired. Wait, I'd have a love-hate relationship with this. It's nice to be able to do nothing sometimes, but when you're still tied to the place for 8 hours, that nothing is spent not doing things you actually want to do and making it look like you're being productive. I still don't know if I'd trade it to be super busy, though. Yeah, okay, my personal relation to this, I was in a touring ABBA tribute band all over Australia for about 6 months. I'm not kidding, here's a photo for reference. Really long story short, I can't play piano, it was just a backing track. And my god, how amazingly boring it is to be on stage faking it. To this day, I still habitually yawn whenever I hear Fernando. Oh, I had worked like this for a while after another business unit last minute canceled a project I was supposed to be 75% on for 6 months. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. Manager understood and tried to find more projects for me, but they never really took much time. I'd go in, hammer out what tasks I did have in about the first hour, and just use my phone the rest of the time until I got an email ping. Used to walk the building a lot, chat with the maintenance guys, see what the other labs were up to. Was a stress-free cakewalk. Yeah, I know someone who had a job like that. He actually got himself a remote job he did from his first job to actually keep himself busy. Imagine your employee coming back to you, not because they want the work, they're just bored. I give my 3-year-old son counterfeit fast food. Now that's smart parenting. Don't know about you, but I think this no regrets tag is very justified. I save my son's McDonald's wrappers and Happy Meal boxes, then reuse them by serving him microwave chicken nuggets and oven French fries in them. I even throw in ketchup packets and a little toy he'd forgotten he had set to help sell the lie. He loves it, and I'm not sorry. No, you shouldn't be. This is, like, you can't, this isn't deceptive. This is too much effort and love, like, on your end. You putting in far too much effort for this to be cruel and rude, because like the person you're doing this to isn't suffering. They're getting free stuff. Hell, they get nice fresh food. You can't read this story and tell me that this is wrong in any way. Yeah, this is brilliant. BRB, gonna have kids just to try this. If it doesn't work, just throw them away. Hey, totally valid. They tried an experiment, didn't work, just get rid of it. You shouldn't be sorry for saving money for him or yourself to do better things in life, and for saving him eating too much McDonald's. Yeah, man, I honestly wish my parents were this deceptive on me instead of just constantly abiding by my sulking. Oh, I've heard of doing this with the name brand cereal too. Put the bagged generic stuff in the one brand name box and reuse it. Oh my god, if I ever have kids, I'm gonna be such... I'm gonna be such a scalper. They're gonna grow up thinking I got them the most premium stuff when I was just being like a homeless person going through garbage bins, finding any empty boxes.
Oh, perfect. This toilet paper's only 10% used.
I got caught shoplifting, and the cashier was a guy I matched on Bumble. I know this is very, very bad. Like, terrible. I was with a friend, and she kind of pleaded for me to go with her, so I obliged. Sales girls caught my friend shoplifting, and because I was with her, they dragged me along to their office too. And I took a pair of earrings. I realized that I knew the cashier, a guy who I matched with on Bumble months ago. He probably recognizes me, and it's terrible. I don't know what to do. I blocked him off of everything. It's so embarrassing. I feel guilty about the entire thing as it is, but I just needed to vent. First off, props to the OP here for just trying to put all the blame of the situation onto their friend before just trying to subtly admit through a few words that, oh yeah, I took some earrings as well. Yeah, but my friend pleaded for me to go with her with all this, so I obliged. Yeah, it was out of my control. Edit. I didn't get arrested. They just recorded our info and got banned from the store. I know, I messed up. I talked to my friend about this, and to be honest, the guilty conscience is already eating away. I'm in my late teens, and my friend is also in her late teens, but a tad younger than me. I can make up some lame excuse as to why I did it, but I'm not even gonna bother sugarcoating it. As to why I mentioned my friend in the first place, look, I am by no means trying to shift the blame onto her, I called it, but rather giving you an insight into my point of view. What I did was illegal and wrong, and I take full blame, and I'll learn from my mistakes. This is r/convention. My guilty conscience is beyond overwhelming, and I know this is karma, but giving me death threats isn't exactly putting out the fire. Jesus! Who would read this and think, yes, this is, out of all the people out there, committing the most heinous of crimes, you, for taking some $5 item from a convenience store. Well, you certainly deserve the electric chair. Girl, why are you blaming your friend when you stole something too? Also, I promise the rando from Bumble does not care. Yeah, you gotta admit, it's kind of weird how this whole, the title is all about some guy from Bumble, but he's mentioned, once in a single sentence. But yeah, a lot of these comments are just hounding on the OP for their decisions to do this. How old are you? You sound very young. Some rando match on Bumble isn't going to mark your future. Move on and don't shoplift. You're reading too much into this. Why did you even shoplift? Like the local community market? Does everyone go to this single store? Is this where everyone collects their news for the day? You're scummy for stealing, but I mean, it's not that horrible. Yeah, the part where you might have a criminal record should be your concern, not the rando Bumble match guy. I would steal money from the till when I was a teenager. $50 every day. So we have a duopoly in Australia. Ooh, an Australian. I can remove my habit to speak these in an American neutral tone. We have a duopoly in Australia when it comes to supermarkets. I was at the legal age to work, about 15, and would find it absolutely insufferable to stand in the one spot serving people for 4 hours. Time went incredibly slowly. I spent a lot of my time calculating how cash was going through my till per hour, and then how many tills there were in the store, then how many would be in my city. I can't remember the numbers, but it was a frick ton of revenue. And these guys were operating on very, very healthy margins. Not that it justifies what I ended up doing, but it certainly helped my conscience. On top of this, the till would always be off by $20 to $50 each time it was counted by the supervisor. If it was off by an unusual number, like $17.35, then there was a mistake made at some point and questions would be asked. But a whole round number? No problem. It must be an issue somewhere else in the chain. Therefore, when I handed in my resignation, for every shift in my last 2 weeks, I would steal $50 from the till. Now, this was in the 2000s, so I don't know how good security cameras were, but I knew where they were and would simply slide the money out and drop it on the floor, then a few minutes later, go to tie my shoelaces and slip it into my socks. Bro's acting like he's working at a prison. That $50 would go to buying lunches at school, and when I got change, shouting my friend a can of cherry Coke from the vending machines. I do not feel bad about doing this at all. Now, I just gotta say, as a fellow Australian who would have to deal with the costs like this, good on you. Coles and Woolworths literally made profit during COVID, but apparently still need to drastically inflate the prices over the last 4 years. Now, no, I'm not encouraging my fellow Australians to just go ahead and shoplift when they can. I'm just saying, make sure you didn't match with anyone who worked at those supermarkets on Bumble. Yeah, I used to pretend to scan, but not actually scan many items for poor-looking people, like meat and stuff. It got to where I had regulars who would only come in when I was serving. God, I hated that job, but Robin Hooding during it made it bearable. Okay, but this does get people somewhat skeptical. I mean, first and most importantly, frick Colesworth. Absolutely, Captain Ducky. But okay, how would the till always be off by $20 to $50? Everywhere I've worked with a till, if it was off by even 10 cents, it was an issue. If you wanted to steal money, you had to just not ring stuff up in the first place. Hey, lion. Now, I've never worked at either of these, so any Australians who have, in the comments, let us know down below just how pedantic they can be about this stuff. I did similar at Video Easy by adjusting deals within the system so the till wouldn't be out. I was on $5.87 an hour in around 2008. Fairly underpaid, I think, so I felt somewhat justified.